What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Mind Something. If you're new here, my name is Jake, and if you're not new here, I am probably obliterating your mental image of what you thought I looked like, or is this just another avatar? You're gonna have to stick around to find out. Once we hit 7,000 subs, I will do a full face reveal. But for today, I got some important content to cover in regards to electrical prices. So stick around, relax, and if you haven't subscribed, be sure to hit that button. Let's get started. So if you're a hardcore hobbyist miner, I know the first thing that you do is you wake up and you go check my channel to see if I posted a new video. Just kidding. I know that's not your first thing. You probably are going to pull up the market and you're going to take a look at your favorite coins, and then you're going to see pretty much everything is in the red. Then you're going to head over to hashrate.no. You're going to check all the GPU profitability. It's going to look abysmal. You might check CPU profitability. It doesn't look a whole lot better. ASIC profitability looks pretty good if you're mining Caspa still, but for the rest of those other coins out there, not looking amazing. And to make matters worse, and the topic of today is the electric rates continue to go up. But even though things are grim, you've still got some great advice from people like Seb Heslow on how to keep your farm profitable. But even with these great tips, which I highly recommend watching this video, home miners are still struggling. And right now it doesn't look like there's any relief in sight. I've been digging into the data, and there's some things that I want to go over with you to paint a very clear picture about the future for those of us that are home hobbyist miners. While profitability is heading to an all-time low, you also have coins that people have high conviction in, with the hash rate continuing to go up. So for example, we've got Lithium difficulty is up 30% in the last 30 days. Dogecoin difficulty up 17% in the last 30 days. Dynex difficulty up 25%. Ergo up 18%. Ethereum Classic up 11%. Even Husat difficulty is up 10%. Another one of my favorites, Octa, also up 30%. Cubic 12%. Warthog 38%. So I've gone and I've extracted some data from EIA.gov that goes over each individual state as well as some specific areas to give you an idea of what the average residential electrical rate is per kilowatt hour for the month of April in 2024. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you're going to get a US total. We are currently sitting at 16.88 cents per kilowatt hour. And the US isn't the only place that electrical rates are going up. It is widespread throughout the world. In fact, if we take a look at the global price of energy index, from May of 2020, we have gone up 330%. Earlier today, I put out a tweet, and based on some of the data that I've collected, I've combined into one graph to give you an idea of how bad it's gotten just over the course of the last few years. So using the data from EIA.gov, I added the current US average cost per kilowatt hour to this graph from Statista. This goes all the way back to 1990, and as you can see, the increase just from last year alone is astronomical. If we divide the current electrical cost at 16.88 cents per kilowatt hour as a national average by last year's 12.5 cents per kilowatt hour, we're looking at a 35% increase year over year. Now, of course, there are a lot of great options out there, one of those being hosting your equipment somewhere where you can get a cheaper price per kilowatt hour, such as Terra Hosting. Shout out to the guys over there. But not only do we want to avoid centralizing hash rate, we also want to decentralize infrastructure. That's very important in my opinion. Now, if we take a look specifically at Bitcoin mining distribution, you can tell by this graph that it is somewhat centralized. The US has taken over a considerable amount of the Bitcoin network. It's currently sitting at about 38%. China coming in second at about 21%, followed by Kazakhstan at 13%. Ironically though, if we look at Bitcoin ownership divided by the population, India comes in first at 85% of their population owning Bitcoin, followed by China at 27%, and then third, the United States at 20%. So adoption is increasing overall, but unfortunately the market share by hobbyist miners is dwindling by the day. So what is the solution for this problem that we're facing?
There are a lot of crypto mining advocates out there in the space, but unfortunately, the majority of them are going to be the lobbyists for the large commercial entities. In order to make your voice heard, you need to reach out to your local legislator. Now, I can already feel some of you rolling your eyes and saying to yourself that you don't want anything to do with the government. In fact, that's why this whole cryptocurrency thing began. However, you need to understand something. Things are changing all around you without any of your input. Crypto is supposed to be a movement, but without your voice and your vote being casted, there is nothing that is going to change in your favor. There are many advocates out there, such as Son of a Tech, who is very vocal about this and not afraid to speak his mind, and without fear of persecution. Now, I know there's many of you out there that would prefer someone else bear that cross for you, but I'm afraid it's getting down to the wire. You need to act now. Last year in Texas, Bitcoin miners got paid $31 million to shut off. And I don't remember any of that money going into my pocket. And the reason that is because they have a voice. They make sure that they are heard, and you need to do the same. But part of that barrier to entry is based on knowledge and how to contact your representative. And in all honesty, it's not that hard. If you just simply Google how to contact your legislator, you're going to find the information pretty quickly. You just simply enter your zip code and it's going to pull up your local representative. You should have a contact button for them, and you just simply tell them the message that you want to say. And if you have no idea what to say, we're going to carefully craft a message and leave that down in the Discord. So if you're not part of the Discord, there's a link down in the description below. It is free and open to all. Hobbyist miners should be privy to the same benefits that these large corporations are getting, but without you taking any action, that's never going to happen. Being truly successful at mining has probably required that you learned a lot of new skill sets, and hopefully some of those you picked up here on this channel. But I want to leave you with this. There's 3 stages in life, and most people only get to the first 2. The first one is dependence, where you're relying on someone else to take care of your basic needs like food, shelter, and bathing you. The second stage is independence, and that's whenever you take care of those things by yourself. And the third stage is interdependence, and that's when you learn that you can do more with other people than you can by yourself. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the content today. Do me a favor before you go, hit that like, and if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that, and I will see you on the next one.